What's happening? This is Jun Tzu. Just Slabberin.
I told you.
What's happening? This is Jun Tzu. Just Slabberin. We're joined today by a very, very, very special guest. This is Irish boxing legend, Jamie Conlan, big brother of Micky Conlan. Good to have you on the show,
Good to be on.
Yeah, man, it's an honour to have you on, my bro. So I met you at the Whiskey and White live podcast last week. I seen you and Micky get on.
Yeah.
And how was that?
It was good. Just the Mckenna podcast with the lads is just different because we know each other so well.
Yeah.
We've been on the same trips. We've seen all the different things that people don't see. So it was just kind of free flowing banter, and then having
I loved it.
Jimmy Nesbitt in the background.
That was wild. When Jimmy Nesbitt come on, that was funny.
Yeah.
And then what about when Shane come on, the special guest? Oh, that made me laugh. He says, he goes, Make-A-Wish Foundation. And he says, there's a boy backstage been busting to meet you forever. And then Shane walks out, moves his seat and all away from Jimmy.
Very good.
It was a belter night. I loved it. First live podcast I'd ever been to. So
Serious, sir?
Yeah, me and my girl went to watch it, you know.
I went and watched the first one.
Was it
very good.
Was it?
But now both of the lads weren't training. They weren't in any fights, so they were fucking pissed.
Yeah.
So kind of...
He said that, Tyrone said that on stage. He goes, I'm a bit nervous tonight because I'm off the beer. But he's still done brilliant.
Yeah, very good.
Fantastic.
Would you think about doing a live podcast yourself?
I am going to do one. I'm going to... So my album, The Troubles, I launched that in 2014. And it's like an audio autobiography of my family tree. But talk about my dad's story in it too. My dad was a prisoner in the Crumlin Road jail. So I launched the album at the Crumlin Road. And my dad came and hosted the night for me. And he said it was like one of the he said to me even just recently, he said that was one of the highlights of his whole life. You know, being back in his old jail, having his son there sell it out and having me rapping the story of my dad's story. And the old prison chaplain was there too. And I said to him, because it was a gig, like, and everyone was drinking all, I says, I understand. He had the chaplain doggy collar on, and he came to hear me, and I says, I understand if you don't stay the whole night, but if you just stay to hear my dad's song, and then, leave, I'd done my whole album. At the end of the night, after midnight, he was still there. The old prison chaplain, he goes, best night of my life. So I said to my dad, let's hire out the Crumb again. Yeah. And we'll do a live podcast in it because they do like a theatre.
They do all different stuff.
It holds like 240 people. So I was going to do like a sit-down podcast and then do like a live performance after.
Class.
Class. I do want to do it. Like, I'm excited about it. But I would like to blend the live podcast in with a live performance.
But you can do that.
Yeah.
The two lads can't just get up and start shadowboxing and fighting each other in the middle of a podcast. So doing that there, you can juggle them around. Exactly. It would be very, very good.
No, exactly, bro. So I had your wee bro on the show.
Yeah.
That was the first I'd ever, I'd seen your brother when he was in the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
No, not the Commonwealth, sorry. It was the one where he spoke up against the Olympics. Yeah, and that's when he went viral, obviously. And then next thing, McGregor and all walked him out. Yeah. But then when I was watching the podcast, and it gave me goosebumps, bro. I loved it, the Whiskey and White podcast. And I think it was Tommy, said, did you ever try and test Jamie? Did you ever try and, for the big brother type thing? And he goes, never once and all. Jamie was the big bro. And I loved that shit, and it radiated with me because, my girlfriend as well, she said to me, she always says, you sort of idolise your big brother. That's what she said to me, and I says, I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? He's my big bro. Yeah. Love him more than anything. I die from a big bro. He's a hero to me. Do you know what I mean? I could sense to see him with Mick, with you,
One time, we used to spar, so we always, we used to spar. I was a professional, he was an amateur. In Breen's gym, above White's Tavern. So it was. Right. So it was, McGee used to have one or two of his mates come in. People used to come and watch us sparring. We used to knock fucking 10 lots of shit, but we're helping each other, and you would talk about it after. But one day, I just realised that people were coming in and not taking advantage, but our hurting on each other was their entertainment.
Yes. Yeah.
And I remember hitting Miguel and hitting him, busting his nose. And I could see people outside actually go, no, clapping and applauding. I'm like, what are you doing, clapping and applauding? Like, we're there. So but in the middle of it, I had said to Miguel, we're not doing this in front of these cunts. As I'm mid-sentence, he hits me about 10 punches. Bang, 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 bang. So I went back at it, and then after I just said, we're never doing this again.
Yes.
Not for these cunts. Because
Yeah.
people are starting having the paint. Or like watching and coming in and they haven't got fucking two.
Of course.
No.
Listen, if it was in a gym with just you two and a couple of your good mates, go at it all. You well.
Yeah.
But when it's for their
and their entertainment,
Yes.
and they're not paying for it.
stop. Nah.
It's
you know exactly what you said.
that ended it. That
Yeah,
ended everything.
Of course, like see when it comes to, I always said that when it's like my bro. Even if I was like angry at my brother and saying something like, he's a bastard or something, if any of my mates agreed with me or something, it would anger the shit out of me. I said, don't ever talk shit about my brother. You know what I mean? Like Nate Diaz. You know Nate Diaz.
Nick,
So I'll tell you what I love with Nate. He's the wee brother. Every biggest event that he's ever had, and there's like every win he has, he shouts out his big bro. You know what I mean? He when he beat McGregor, first thing he said was, "Shout out my big brother Nick Diaz, the greatest fighter and all." You know, so.
But Nick Diaz at one stage was.
Yeah, he was animalistic.
It was class.
No, he was too G'd up.
Yeah.
Did you see? Did you see Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz at the boxing? What was your opinions on that?
I don't classify it as boxing though,
Yes.
So I accept it for what it is.
Right.
It is an entertainment of different priorities. I don't know the demographic. It's this new world that we're living in with these YouTubers and these kids coming through and how they watch TV and how they connect with social media icons.
Yeah.
Seeing fighters like Nick, like people like that getting involved, I don't like, but I don't classify it as boxing, no.
Yeah. So, like, but I mean, Jake isn't like, he fought Tommy Fury. Did you watch that?
He's changing what they're trying to do, and that's what I have to give him credit for.
Yeah.
Where he is trying to fight Tommy Fury, Anderson Silva, all these different people like this. You're going, okay, well he's trying to do a bit different, but the people who are piggybacking off the back of it, who are just fighting guys who hold a camera for whatever, and
of course,
but he seems like he's.
I'll tell you this, I agree with you in terms of like the YouTube boxing thing that's taken off, KSI, Logan Paul and all, like having an exhibition fight with Floyd Mayweather. That's all like I said, it's all exhibition stuff. But I think Jake Paul's
he's trying.
Yeah, and he's different, and not only that, he's like who was the last? So he beat Nate. He knocked out Tyrone Woodley, who was like a 5-time UFC champion.
Yeah.
He beat Anderson Silva. Knocked out Ben Askren. Do you know what I mean? So
the thing is, where I give him credit, he doesn't need to go and spar people, fight people, do whatever he's doing.
Of course, he's
like boxing is a very you lose a bit of yourself.
Yeah.
Like whatever you're doing in the ring, you don't go in. Probably not so much in their world, but it's still to an extent because they're still getting punched in the head. But the person who enters the ring and the person who leaves the ring, regardless who wins or loses, is a different person.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what people don't realize. He's doing that and sacrificing himself and whatever. He could go and be fucking strippers and stuff in Vegas all year round if he wants.
Yeah. So like the way I see it is like, that was his background. He came as a Disney kid, YouTuber or whatever, but observing him and all, like, and listening to him, I honestly think like he was the world's greatest troll, because I do believe he really took boxing seriously, and I think he was like studying with like being trained by some of the world's greatest coaches and all. And he's like you said, he's dedicated his life to it. So and obviously, he's not like world champ, but he's one of the most talked about boxers now in the world.
Well, if you ask a kid who's under 17 or under 18, they'll say Jake Paul.
Yeah,
they won't say Carl Frampton or anyone who we've got here. They'll say Jake Paul.
My wee daughter was here. She doesn't watch no fighting, and she was over when they were fighting Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, and she said to me, "Dad, can we kind of sit up and watch it?" And I says, "Of course, Jake Paul's going to win," but she fancied Tommy Fury. So she was like, "Nope, Tommy's going to win." So I bet her 20 quid. sure enough, Tommy Fury won. I had to give her 20 quid. But it made me laugh because I thought, that's a wee girl, 11,
Yeah.
12, and she wanted to sit up to watch the boxing.
Yeah.
And that was good because very rare, like I did when I was 6. I was sitting up with my dad watching the boxing. Like, I was obsessed with boxing growing up, you know. What about you? You're the same age as me, or I think you're a year younger. You're born in 86. Yeah, I was born in 87.
Okay.
So you're a year older. Yeah.
You wouldn't think it, John.
I'm telling you. I've lived a hard life.
You were born in Belfast.
I'm telling you. There's all around me, bro. So, were you, talk to me, bro, were you get straight into boxing? Your dad was a coach, wasn't he?
He was, like, we done everything.
Yeah.
So we done it, like there was, we had 5 brothers, one passed away, is younger, but there was 4 of us and we done everything.
Yeah.
So we kind of, hurling, swimming, Gaelic, football, any sport under the sun, and my dad always brought us and was committed to it. And he hated every time we left, because like most kids, you just get fed up. Whatever, move on to the next one. Karate, taekwondo.
Yeah.
You're buying an outfit, you're putting it on, you're doing it for about 3 months, and then fuck it, come in, or your mates are doing something else, you're doing it again.
Yeah.
And then I was playing football, and I was playing it okay. I was playing a good level. Went to America, did all different things. Brendan, who's the brother between me and Michael.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah,
met him. Loves all the
Yeah, he's
thing.
a G.
Yeah,
He
so
gave me the grab here.
Brendan wanted the box. I didn't care for it too much.
Right.
But my dad said, Dad, they'll go and bring my younger brother boxing, and I had to stick it out for a full year. It was the first time he went, right, I'm not buying you any boxing gloves.
So it was Brendan's fault?
Yeah, Brendan's fault. I'm not buying you any boxing gloves, not buying you any boxing boots, not buying you anything to do with it. Commit to a full year, go 3 nights a week for a full year, and we'll see. For 5 years, I wore someone else's boxing boots. I never had my own gloves. I never had anything else. Michael wore someone else's shorts till he was like fucking 15, I think.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, stuff like this.
Yeah, it's gangster shit. It's real shit, though. I love it. Militant. So you done it then? Did you do it 3 nights a week?
Yeah. I've done it for a full year. And then
How
you were
old
just
were you when you started this?
13, 12.
And then how old was Brendan then?
He was a year younger than me, or 2 years younger than me. He was in 10, 11. So the starting age of boxing, what we're doing.
Yeah.
Michael was too young, so he was.
And that is quite old as well. Like, I started boxing when I was like 6 or
Yeah,
7.
yeah.
Did you know where I started boxing?
No.
Started boxing in Bunny Mine Boxing Club with there was in Wales in Swansea.
Okay, yes.
And there was a wee tin shack. I'll show it you. I've got a wee photo of it on my Instagram. And it was a man called Mario McNarelli.
Enzo McNally's there?
Yeah, and that's it. And Enzo was there. I trained with Enzo. My dad brought me this chain when I was there with Enzo. I was 6, and it went down to my belly button. And Enzo was, I was like 7, I think, 7 or 8. And then Enzo was like, he's a few years older than me, so I think he was like 14 or something. But he was there saying, I'm going to be a champion one day.
He's a good friend of mine, Enzo. He came over to Belfast recently. We went out for a few drinks.
Next time he comes over, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I wonder if you could even remember me and my brother. We lived in Penterqueith. That's where it was called. Penterqueith was right beside Bunny Mine, and there was a big, massive forest. And we lived in the new builds, and we used to walk through the forest up to the wee tin hut where Mario was, you know. And I loved it, but I was obsessed with it. First time I got in the ring, my mum walked me up. I said, I want to join the boxing, Mum. I want to join the boxing. And my mum walked me up, and I walked in as a wee pudgy kid, you know. And Mario, Enzo's dad, was in the ring,
pads,
you know, and he was on the pads. And my mum said, my son wants to join your club. And he looked at me and he goes, can you box? And I went, yes. And he goes, get up into this ring. And then I got into the ring, and he looked at me and went, clap, and just hit me a wee smack right in the head. And he goes, you can't box that well. Never forget it. And I was thinking, wow. Me and my brother had some wars in there as well, like real wars, you know, and it like stuck with me forever.
What was the age difference between you two?
Me and Adam are a year and 9 months.
Oh, okay, similar to me and Brent. Yeah, Brent would have been the same.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it's funny because I was always huge, but Adam's wiry. Adam's a bit like McGregor's build.
Okay.
Pretty much the exact same like build as McGregor. You know what I mean? Now, like growing up, he was always wiry, and you know what I mean? I was just huge, like, but Adam was my big brother. He was my big little, like...
the big wee brother,
yeah, you know? But he was like an animal, Adam, too. Very, like, full of, like... He was an animal, like, you know? Yeah. But me, I was more like... It was funny with me and Adam. I can remember clearly and all, like, when Bruno was fighting Tyson. And we were kids, and I said, Bruno's going to win. My dad said, and Adam said, Tyson's going to win. My dad said, get the gloves on, go for it. You be Tyson, you be Bruno. You know, and I hit Adam a nice cracker. See, when I was more composed, I was a good boxer. You Adam was more...
Aggression.
Yes, aggression. Yeah. So I just clinked Adam a cracker, and he like fell back, and Adam goes, my dad went, right, Bruno's the winner. Adam ripped the gloves off, then started battering the head of me, you know. And it was funny, because when you watch the Tyson fight then with Bruno...
Yeah.
Bruno had lost before it begun.
Yeah.
He was just like, you could see the fear in him, you know. Well, who's your favourite boxer growing up, bro?
My favourite boxer was a Mexican guy called Eric Morales.
Yeah.
But, like, our house different always, because Michael loved Prince Nassim Hamed.
Yeah.
And we fucking despised him in our house.
So you and your dad all hated Nassim?
Hated him.
But Michael
only Michael.
Yeah.
But that was Michael's personality.
Yeah, of course.
Michael was the kid who was smaller than everyone else in the class. Or smaller than everyone else in the area, but was the loudest and the cheekiest and the brightest. And then would say, I'll get my brothers for you. Yeah. And then we had to walk down and I'm fucking tiny. Yeah. And I have to deal with the problems, but you're looking at the people. But no, that was him. Similar to Hamed. Liked the personality, liked the shit talk, liked all that. Where I would have been a lot more like,
and that's your nickname, the Mexican?
Yeah, the Mexican.
Yeah, because funny, my wee daughter, she's said she's been to Mexico 3 times. And I took her for a beautiful drive around the coast there, you know, of Ireland there. And where was it? Just past Drains Bay in Ireland. It's stunning. And I was saying, this is the most beautiful country in the world. And Emily in the back, my wee daughter, she goes, it's not as nice as Mexico.
What part was she?
Cancun or something. I don't know. Loads of different stuff. I don't know. She's been like 3 times, but she went with her mum. But I was like, she goes, it's not as nice as Mexico, Spain, Ireland. And I says, what are you talking about? It's not as nice as Mexico. I says, Ireland's the most beautiful country in the world. And then I was talking, then I was thinking, and it says, Mexico's got known as one of the best boxers in the world as well, don't they? That's their style, the Mexican. They just go in, and that's why you got that name then, the Mexican.
No, they're like, for me, I was just love watching them. Growing up watching them, and Eric Morales was. He was like a quiet, like stone face kind of guy, but just could fight like fuck him.
Yeah, they're raw, the Mexicans. They are
dangerous.
Yeah, I said that to Emily because she said I love Mexico and all. And I says, well, they are good fighters. I says I think the Irish are the best, but then the Mexicans maybe after, you know. But so you got called the Mexican, bro. When did you get given that nickname?
It would have been later. I would have been when I turned professional. It would have been when I turned professional.
Yeah, when they actually watched your boxing.
Aye.
And then you were called the Irish Gaddy as well?
Yeah, stuff like that always, because fights were always just going up and down, and I would have been put down a lot and then got up, or I would have been cut. I got cut a lot. I used to get cut fucking left, right and centre. And then that's kind of like fights would have been dramatic. But the last 3-4 years of my career, every fight was dramatic.
Yeah.
And you just knew, like, how I would train, I would live like a monk for 10 weeks, because I know for 10 rounds or 12 rounds, this is going to be hard. Regardless of who's in front of me, I just knew it was always going to be hard. So everything before it had to be hard to be ready. Yeah. So I was going to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Oh, of course.
But that's how I lived then when I went away. Like them last 3-4 years, I moved away from home. Lived in Marbella, lived outside Marbella in the mountains in Estepona, and learned Spanish, spoke Spanish.
Did you, bro? How did you learn Spanish?
In the restaurants.
Sick. You're G'd up. You're like my big brother. Yeah. My big brother Adam, he's lived over there for 15 years now. Just learned Spanish, speaking with the locals and that. Didn't ever learn, just picked it up. Yeah. Like speaks fluent Spanish now. But you lived up in the mountains. Well, how long did you live there for?
Well, I lived there for a bit. I lived there for about 2 years, 3 years, and then I moved. We then started training in Glasgow. Right. And I finished there in Glasgow.
Sick. Yeah. And then so I was looking up at your record, bro, and it was like you've had 1 defeat.
Yeah.
And that was your last fight. That was it.
Well,
so you're saying you're hitting the same. You pretty much done it the same. You've done it the same, bro. What happened?
I knew before it.
Had you already made the transition that this was coming to the end, and you wanted
slightly, I was kind of helping manage 1 or 2 fighters. We were expecting our first child, I'd bought my house, and I said, I'm not
You've done it now. Where you're putting your life on the... I
don't
know
need
what you
the
mean.
hate. Like, and as I said, every fight was tough.
Yeah,
so
of
every
course.
fight that would come out like fucking the Elephant Man, or
Yes.
every fight that would have been put down, got up once or
you're a
twice,
hero.
you know,
You're
stuff
just
like
with
that.
it. Yeah, of course. I know what
So
you
I'd
mean.
said that, like Tracy before it, like fighting for the world title. I couldn't make the weight no more. Coming up to it, people like you had to lift me out of a bath to get on the scales, stuff like that. And I went, this is coming to the end. No one knew except for her, like that I was, if I won undefeated, like 20-0 world champion, that was gonna do. But then I lost. Like I was very very good. Filipino
Pretty
guy.
boy, I seen him.
He was. Me and Mick seen him about. Michael fought in Brisbane, and he fought on the same card, and they had the same training. So we were in Brisbane for 3 weeks, and I'd seen him move, and I said, fuck. I was number one with a different organisation, supposed to fight some Chinese guy, and it just didn't materialise. And I said to Michael, never want to fight that guy. He's like all wrong for me. Ever see when you watch the Rocky Balboa?
Yeah.
When they say to Apollo Creed, Rocky, he's all wrong for us, baby.
Yeah.
I just knew straight away he's all wrong for me. His feet are too good. He was too quick.
Yeah.
But then, like in boxing, you have to be just a little bit crazy because you got to convince yourself.
Yeah.
No matter if that guy has fucking like dynamite in his hands, you can still beat him.
Of course. And if you have anything, if you have a psychological edge, anything.
Oh, no. All I thought was that he's not tougher than I am.
Yeah.
I can, he can put me down whatever, and I'll drag him down to my kind of level. And that was all I was hoping.
A few times of watching that fight, bro. I seen it. It was like you wanted to go for it. You kept on getting back as well. It was heavy.
Yeah.
It was deep. And it was a bit like he was like a Pacquiao or something.
Exactly. Manny Pacquiao was his promoter.
Was
he?
He
looked
so
after
it made
him.
sense because I could see it. I could see when he was throwing them body shots and all too. It was next level. And was that at the
SSC? Yeah, it was at the SSC, and I don't know. He was just like the whole way up to it. We done everything. I brought in this Mexican world champion to sparring, and I just was sparring unbelievable. Put him down a few times, and I never really sparred great. I remember just thinking, I just gotta kind of cool things because we're ready to fight next week. And by the time the fight night was, I got on the scales. I was completely fucked, but I still thought in the ring he hit me a body shot in the first round. Just went.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Stop.
But
bro.
not like it's just insane.
No,
because you're still warped in your own head, and you're still deluded that you can do whatever you can do.
No, but that's
still
amazing.
kept thinking I can
but
get him.
sometimes I watched an amazing fight. And it was just on like a reel the other day, but it came up and it said "never give up" or something, and it was this fella. He was getting battered about the ring, and I mean he got knocked down about 7 or 8 times. And then he ends up knocking the guy out at the end of the fight, and I was thinking, my goodness, like you know,
boxing. It's what makes you love it and hate it at the same time. If you're in both things, it's
of course. And the me bro as well. See, like I've never like. My favourite like UFC fighters, Bam Bam, you know, Taito Vasa, he's a good friend of mine. I message him all the time, and he said he's coming over. He said he wants to come to Ireland after his next fight and do like a podcast with me and all. He's a G. But I said to him, I've never bet against you in a fight, bro, ever. And sometimes he fights against and he's lost a few. He's lost a good few. He's never lost to me. Never, because he puts in 100%. He does what he does, you know what I mean? And if he gets knocked out, who gives a fuck? Then that's the art of fighting, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And
someone's got to lose.
Exactly, and not only that, if it's a sick fight and that, bro, you clap it anyway, and like, you know what I mean?
That's why you appreciate MMA and UFC that more, I think, the boxing. Because when you lose in boxing, you're just disregarded. But in MMA and in UFC, a loss isn't define
it doesn't define you.
No, you really can like, again. It's how did you lose? You know, did you really put it all on the line, get beat? But that's okay.
Yeah, but that's why I was proud with Micky.
Yeah.
Because Mickey's sort of saying fuck that. He's taking more the MMA approach.
Yeah.
He's saying I'm not letting this loss define me.
Yeah.
You know, and then even like his latest loss, I see he posted up saying I'm getting back at it now. And is that right? Is he going for another?
Yeah, that's it. Like
gangster shit.
Yeah, trying to change things up, and he knows kind of mistakes he made, mindset was wrong, different things, and he's just kind of like knows straight away. And it wasn't a true reflection of him. And I knew, I think within 10 seconds that he's going to lose his fight. Not necessarily that the other guy was better, just that wasn't the same Michael and what he needed to be to win that fight. He just went out and went gunslinging.
Yeah.
When you gunsling it with a Mexican, it's very hard.
Obviously.
You're playing into their hands. You're playing into their game plan. You're playing exactly what they needed you to do. And he knew, I think, in his own head, it has to go one way or another here. And that was always my mentality as well when I fought.
Yeah.
I picked the gloves that had the least amount of horsehair, the most puncher's gloves you get.
Yeah.
And like I always, like all the people join me, like Paddy and Tyrone, all used to hate the gloves I wore, like because they were saying the other guys wearing them. And I went, but if I put these on, I feel like I can knock you out at any, I can get knocked out at any time.
Yeah, of course. You don't care about him.
But we're going to go, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about him. And So what? I got them. Yeah. That's what matters.
And for different styles, it's the wrong style. Like it's the wrong. Like for Michael, he has Nassim style. He is flamboyant. He's extravagant. He's very very smart. He has the art of boxing down to a T. Like it's like I seen Michael doing things at 13, 14 that I still haven't seen world class professionals do.
Wow. Yeah.
Just with his feet, with his position, with his ring IQ. Harry would do things I could never do. And I'd always was saying, even at a very young age, like I have a younger brother. Like when I was on the Irish team, I kept saying there's a younger brother coming through. He's gonna blow you all away. Like
and you look like you could be fucking twins, bro.
Oh, I know.
You really do. Like so when I met Brendan at Life's a Beach, he came walking past me, and he doesn't look like he looks like this, but not as much. He used to look like he could be twins. Brendan came walking past me, just went, Michael speaks highly of you and all, good to meet you, bro, and walked past me. And then I thought, Michael, who's he talking about? And then I was thinking, he looks familiar. Next thing he came back over and he goes, there's the beer. And I went,
like that.
I said, get a photo or not. So I met him, but it's funny then. So you're the oldest, then there's Brendan.
Yeah, then Michael, and then we have a younger one, Shawnee. So we were all, me, Brendan, and Michael I think we're still the only three brothers to win the All Irelands, the Irish title at the same year on the same time. So it was class. Then Bren won his All Ireland title, which he got beat. There was the guy who was a good friend of mine now. Every time this guy beat him, I always beat him. And then the 1 year Bren won, we all won together. And I remember him coming in and going, telling my dad, right, I'm finished.
Yeah.
And he went, what? He says, I want to smoke, I want to drink, and I want to see what the girls are like.
I've not done your pride. Listen, I've done your pride, I've gone out there.
So he's done, yeah.
So that's when I seen him at Life's a Beach. He was still living his dream.
Still living his dream, yeah. Still living his dream.
He had two girls by his hand, Peter in his hand.
Yeah, so he was like 14, 15, or 16, but I actually turned 16, 17, and he just said, that's me.
What
finished.
a G.
Yeah. He made a comeback a few years later, and we advised him that too. And I went to like the amateur boxing league, and the Ulster Championships. He had a good wee run, and then when he was going to fight someone pretty good, he got beat. But he was. And
I know Micky is one of the most decorated amateur boxers of all time, Irish boxers.
He is.
And then I've seen your record there as well. It's like you've had 118 amateur fights.
Yeah, but
that was a lot of amateur fights, bro.
Well, Michael is the only ever Irish male world champion as an amateur. No one's ever competed, never done it. We've won Olympic Games. It's the hardest championship to win, like. And he done it in Doha in 2015. But like amateurs is you fought every week. Like Irish boxing, Belfast boxing. Like we grew up. Like on the falls. Like I don't know how many. There was like more boxing clubs as much boxing clubs as football clubs. So that was kind of your trajectory as a youth. It was always you had to do boxing in terms of one of the sports, and everyone around you all done boxing. Whether we're good or not, it was another thing. But we all kind of. That was what we done through life. Yeah,
gee, shit, bro. Yeah. So then, what made you... So, it was interesting because, like I say, you're the big bro. And it makes sense then because, like, Brendan, he goes, like, after he gets the All-Ireland, he wants to just have a smoke and relax.
Yeah.
Micky then, he's the young bro and all. Even if he gets beat, he doesn't give a fuck. He's cracking on. And then you're the big bro. You decided to become like a manager and get into the management and all. Like look after everyone. You know what I mean? So how did you set up Conlan Boxing then? Or?
Yeah. In 2021, we'd set it up. But it was something I was thinking about for a while. Like I was managing Michael from 2017, 2018.
Right. So
Matthew
you
Mack
were
was
his
my-
manager
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. So,
And then did you get the phone call then about McGregor walking him out, or?
so we were in the. Well, no, the thing was, we done a podcast, like a meet and greet with McGregor. So McGregor come up to the Devonish.
Yeah.
And Michael had texted him, or they were talking, and he says, come up to the thing. So Michael was going to be part of it. So he was sitting on the stage with McGregor, and Michael was making his debut at Madison Square Garden. That was in December. He was making in March. And he said, will you walk me out? In front of everyone in the audience. He knew, like you were saying earlier,
Exactly, yeah.
better to apologise than to ask for a
damn
price.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So he said, and he says, yeah, 1,000,000%, I'll walk you out. And everyone went mental. And it was about 1,000 people. So
That's it.
held it
set
to
in
it.
stone, of course.
And I think there was a bit of trouble getting over to New York. He couldn't get over, and he was going to pull out. And then next thing you know, he hired a private jet.
These two gangsters, you have to
Bang.
give him props, man.
Him and the crew come over, and
Gangster shit.
it was fucking mental. Because like you're in the changing room. The training room was like this, really small. And it's his next day, so he's never experienced anything like it. It's my first time kind of being in New York, which is different to different condition wise.
yeah.
So I had no clue. Michael's heart rate, they have to go, they do an EKG on you before you fucking get into the ring in New York. That's how they work. And his heart rate was too high. So they had to get it down and whatever. And he hadn't come back. And I'm like, fucking needs to warm up. You know, needs to come in. He finally comes in. So it's everything's a rush. And it's mental, manic. It's sold out in a day or, I don't know, fucking a few hours. His debut.
Yeah.
So it was fucking packed. Next thing you know, Evander Holyfield comes in. Shit, like, that's one big thing. Niall Hornan and, what do you call it? What is his? Niall Hornan from fucking One Direction.
Yeah.
Him and his crowd all come in. So that's another big
Yeah.
thing. There was another big world champion that came in. And then fucking McGregor with about 25 deep.
God.
And it's just
Yeah,
mad.
yeah, of course.
Make us get his gloves on.
I know.
And like, you need to warm up here. So we just drag everything, bring it right up to the top floor of Madison Square Garden. They move everything out of the way. And he starts the warm up there for about 5 minutes before a fight. You should be warming up for about an hour and a half.
Get the fuck out.
And then you're just thrown out and you're walking out. And I have a video on my phone. And I was showing my daughter the other day. Like, and it was just chaos. Like,
Yeah, and
chaos.
smashed it too.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Brilliant.
Fucking hero.
But
shit,
that
bro.
that whole first year, like, we went around the world.
Yeah.
Like, we went New York, Chicago, Brisbane, Arizona, Las Vegas. 6 fights in the first year, twice in New York. And you just were like, every 2 months, just next one, bang, next one, bang. Manny Pacquiao on their card. We were having breakfast with Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
You were meeting Manny Pacquiao. You were meeting all these different people. And you're like,
Did you meet Roberto Duran?
we had breakfast with him. We had breakfast with him, yeah.
And he was one of my favourites too.
Yeah.
Like, that trilogy fight that he had, bro.
Yeah.
And just with the Lockhorn, just like, that was old school boxing. That's what I always thought about that's what I noticed about you. Like, with your fights, it was like you were going for the death.
Yeah,
Like, it was old school. Not even though you were pugilists. I'm saying you had that killer instinct.
It wasn't the purest. It was just,
It's just all like
get in
raw.
and get it done.
Yeah, militant shit.
I
bro.
wouldn't advise it to others, but
No, I understand.
but when I know someone who has a similar mentality or mindset, I kind of just say,
like,
right,
back to MMA, like, have you seen Justin Gaethje?
yes,
So when Justin Gaethje came into the UFC, they started calling him the Homer Simpson of MMA because he
just takes punishment.
Yeah, he was taking the worst punishment, and everyone was thinking, "Oh my goodness!" So even when he lost, he was still winning fight of the night, and like every fight that he's ever had is spectacular.
Yeah.
But then the good thing is watching him evolve, like his recent fights. He's being smarter now, and he's stepping back a bit.
With the
He's
age, fame, Wayne.
yeah, he's not just getting but that's powerful shit, bro. So I love that. So you've set up Conlan Boxing. You've done the Fila.
Yeah,
The big
so,
fight night
yeah.
at the Fila. How was that?
It was good. It was different because the first two had done it with Mick.
Yeah.
And when you do a show, well, obviously promoting the show, managing the fighters, building everything around it, how it goes, building an outdoor show.
So is this your third? Was this your
It was our
year
third year.
at the Fila?
First two was with Michael. We done
Right,
10,000.
he was fighting,
Yeah. He fought. He was the first one. Kind of we done massive.
Yeah.
And again we done 80 or 90 or 80 or 90% of the tickets would have been about 9,000 tickets in an hour
Holy
on the first
shit.
one.
Wow.
And then kind of how we built it was class. Then the second one was during COVID. We were the very first outdoor live spectating event without masks, without any restrictions.
Amazing.
That we kind of, and we were used kind of as a guinea pig for everything else to open up after.
Right.
And this was our third one, a bit more low key. We didn't build the big stands this year. It was a bit different, and the best part for me, but also a downside, was not having Mick, because when Michael is fighting, I'm a nervous wreck.
Obviously, bro.
You're just shitting
obviously.
yourself.
I'd rather be fighting myself
Yes.
than watching my
Yeah.
brother fight. So anytime anyone ever went to fight, I say, if you've got a problem with brother, you can sort it out.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. So it was a blessing that he wasn't there, but he was there, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Just
no, he
didn't
was there
fight.
with me.
Yeah.
He was ringside, and like you
Nice
say,
to see.
we're involved together in
Yeah.
in this, and I've kind of like I said to him, "Right, let's set this up like promotionally. Let's try and do this. Let's do this for not just now, but like when you retire, it can be something you can walk into.
course.
Similar of Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy in the States, he
Yeah.
set up his own promotions when he was fighting, then went into it after.
course.
Like don't worry, we'll kind of build it
Obvious.
for when you retire. So that was his first time really getting to see the other side of the coin, and
Yeah.
like experiencing it a bit more and seeing things being moved around and how it been built and how the kind of whole logistics happened before it. But there is still as I said, about him not fighting, you don't have that nerves, that sweat, that pressure, anxiety. But then when he's not fighting, you also don't have that kind of, I don't know, that like fucking buzz. Like that
I know,
buzz. Like
I know,
as you
I
said,
know.
you feel like you're fighting. That fight yourself.
And then
like-
when he wins too, you
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
you're elation.
yeah,
No,
of course.
no, but
know.
the same thing is, we won't manage anyone. I don't have a good, like if I don't have a good relationship with you, like if I can't,
Good.
if the journey isn't this, like
Yeah.
I have to enjoy the journey as
Yeah.
much as anyone else.
Yeah, but that's good because my manager who I worked making my album with, he died just before I released the album, and then felt like people were saying, "Oh, go and check this for a manager, But I felt like, imagine like you're losing your wife or something, and someone
Yeah,
said, "Go
yeah,
out and get a new
yeah.
wife," and you're like, "Are you fucking mad? It doesn't work like that." Do you know what I mean? Never had another manager ever. Do you know what I mean? You do have to have that like bond, especially, and even more so when it comes to boxing.
But when you're fighting, you need to trust people around you.
Yeah, of course.
And it has to fit. If someone's not on the boat rowing with you,
Yeah.
then they shouldn't be on the boat.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I won't get like you've been offered very, very good fighters to manage and look after, and I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
want
if
to
there's
just
no
turn up and take a check. Like, it's
exactly.
for-
And if there's no connection
Yeah.
there, then why
Yeah.
would you? Of course.
You wanted to be like Paddy McCrory, who headlined the last field, and kind of has like risen through like hard not hard scene, but it'd be real small time boxing. So he was
Yeah.
having to sell tickets, pay for his own opponent,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Build his own kind of cult following in the Devonish, build small shows,
Yeah.
really kind of come take opportunities at the last minute. But for like I would speak to him as much as I speak to anyone else, because like together, I just think like we're together, and with all the other fighters we're managing, it's the same thing. You're building a kind of relation, you're building a rapport, but you're also building something bigger than just used to.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what we done there with Paddy, and finally got there. He's done himself basically, because he's the one taking all the risks, and
Yeah.
and that's what like I always get. I can always step back and let them, because it's their time to shine, and I was very, very happy that when we didn't do it with Michael, that it was Big P in the next one up.
Yeah,
And again,
love that.
after him, there'll be someone
Of
else.
course there
Conveyor belt is building for someone else to come in.
Love it,
And
bro.
that's what we're doing.
I was dead upset that I didn't make it to the fight night at the Phil. I was at the Life's a Beach.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
night,
yeah,
I
yeah,
was ours
yeah,
for a
yeah.
Mr. Bro and all.
Yeah.
But I was in two minds. I says to my girl, should we go to the fight night and just see that? But we couldn't have made it then because we were camping and all that night. So, but it did look incredible. Next year, I'm definitely going to go to. You doing it next year?
We'll go next year. Our next one, we're going September 16th in Dublin in the RDS with Tyrone McKenna, who again, similar situation to Paddy in terms of our relationship. We trained together. He lived with me in Spain for a bit. He lived with me in Glasgow, and then kind of like he was the first person I was kind of helping as well as Michael and stuff like that. So
Yeah. And then Tyrone, then he shouted me.
He did,
said, he wants me to walk him out
Yeah.
at his title fight. When
Yeah.
it's like 5 weeks time.
yeah, September 16th in the RDS.
And the RDS, that's in Dublin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna
That'll be
be
class.
So he said at first, he said he wants me to walk me out, he wants me to walk him out, and I says 100%. He goes, want you to sing like an old Irish tune, and then kick it into Born in Belfast, you know.
Well, it has to be in Born in
So
Belfast.
so I was thinking, I says to him, have you ever heard The Wind That Shakes the Barley?
Okay.
And he goes, I'm not sure. So I sent him the old one, you know, but I said like 2 verses of that. And then at the end of that, then, you know, it goes the soft
chorus,
wind
yeah.
shook the barley, and then I was born in Belfast. Now I'm walk out, you know. He posted up a story there the other day.
Yeah, he had it on in the background.
Blasting it out, you know.
He's geeing himself up with that in the background.
Yeah,
That's his motivation music
He's
now.
too G'd up, bro.
Yeah, very good.
Listen, I can't wait to walk out. That would be something special in Dublin as well.
Have you done that before? Have you ever?
Nah,
No.
I said to Mick.
Well, I'd said to Mick,
Yeah.
and I'd said the thing about.
He came out to Belters Only, though,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
they?
yeah,
And I know them.
yeah,
I know Bissett and Robbie J.
Yeah.
So they actually became Belters Only at the Cali Cave.
Okay.
Danny invited both of them to the Cali Cave, Bissett and Robbie G, separately, you know. And I met Robbie G. Danny was saying, Robbie G was like one of the youngest DJs to be up in Dublin.
In Dublin.
At the time. So he got like Robbie G up in Bissett. Next thing, them two started working together. Next thing, boom, Belters Only. There's fucking smashed it, like, didn't they?
Brilliant,
They did, but
Brilliant.
he
got
worked them out.
So he gets Aoife, Scott, there's 3 of them. They sing on Roisin, they sing Grace. So that's his song before it. It's like an old Irish song.
Yeah.
And they sing it, a bit of that, and then in thing. But he's friendly with Belters Only, and they kind of played him.
Yeah,
a
I
track to
love that.
come out and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But he's always done the Grace before.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
whatever it's been Grace.
Yeah, I love the
And then
Grace
it's
one
kinda,
as well.
yeah.
There was a lot of like people like he said he had no, it wasn't about Grace though, was it? He came out to Celtic Symphony
Celtic
or something
Symphony,
one time.
yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that, and he was saying like, you know, there was backlash and all. And he said he didn't even listen to the old Irish songs until he went to America.
Yeah.
That's what he said, you know. But I don't know. I love the Irish rebel tunes, me bro. Like I said, when you listen to them, they're full of like you said, struggle.
Yes.
And like you said about, you know, your man Podrick or something had to go on the graft, like,
Yeah.
like it was hardcore. And that's what it is. It comes from like humble. And there's like something real like strong about it. You know what I mean? It's like good warrior music. So I think like coming out to that type of shit is perfect, bro. Sure, McGregor done it the first way with Sinead.
Yeah.
And I watched that recently, you know. Did you see Sinead singing him out?
Yes.
It was to the Chad Mendes fight. So he was supposed to be fighting Aldo
That's right.
for the belt,
that's
and then
right.
Aldo pulled out.
It was the interim belt.
So then they turned it into the interim belt with Chad Mendes, and then Sinead sang him, and then he came out in the Notorious, you know. Sinead was a G. I done a wee tribute to her at the Filla, and a song like The Foggy Jew. And then after the Foggy Jew stood up and shouted, most people don't seem to know what I mean, so let me make it clear. I said, fuck them both, fuck the Pope and the Queen. They all clapped, you know. Yeah, they all clapped, like, you know. But I was going to rip up a picture of the Pope and the King, you know, on the stage, like Sinead. Did you know she done that?
Yeah.
That was some gangster shit, bro. She was too G'd up.
How did you find the Fela, the Falls Park setup?
I'm not going to lie to you, bro. It was the best show I've ever been a part of in my life.
Yeah?
Nah, spectacular. And I brought my dad and all too. My wee daughter was there singing on stage with me.
Yeah, I seen that there.
It was amazing, bro. And then I met the Whistling Donkeys. Have you heard them?
Yes.
They were incredible. Done a wee interview with them and all. They said they want to work with me.
Very good.
So I'm gonna try and do like a rap collab with them.
Okay.
You know, and get them singing.
They do very good Christy Murray song, B Swing.
He dedicated it to me at the Fela.
Did he? There you go.
Just before it, right? I interviewed them and it says, Bees, and all. I says, that's Christy Murray, isn't he? He goes, no, it's Gareth Thompson or something. And I says, I didn't know it. I love Christy Murray's version. I said, I know it word for word. I love Beeswing. Then when I was there watching him, I went at the stage listening, and then he goes, this song here is dedicated to Jun Tzu tonight. And I was like, wow. And then he sang it at the Villa. Belting, bro.
And then Kneecap as well.
And then Kneecap shot like after.
This scene, is this a big scene? This like Irish rap scene is...
I'll tell you what. Kneecap certainly, you can't ask if it's big when Kneecap brought 10,000 in there roar. And that's the second year, like they've done it last year too.
Yeah.
So it was a real honour for me to do it.
They rapped Tyrone out as well.
Did they?
Yeah, last year I think.
No, they didn't.
Or no, they didn't do it. They just came and watched.
Did they?
They just came and watched. They didn't do it. They were
Nah,
going to do it.
rapping time,
Yeah, so it's a first. It's a first.
I can't wait. It's
But
gonna be
like
serious.
that Irish language rap, is there much others doing it, or is it just new?
So I've just done a wee song with Dirtbird as well. He's from the Falls. He wears a wee balaclava too.
Okay.
And funny enough, his dad actually played the ale and pipes on my album.
Fuck.
Yeah, like 10 years before. It's madness. But he raps a bit in Irish too. And we done a song there that like I think Kneecap are the only ones who are like smashing it like that.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to the Irish language, like. But they done a new song there as well. It said Stephen Nolan was outraged or something at them. So at the failure, they said, "Here's a new song. We haven't released it yet, featuring Stephen Nolan." You hear Nolan slagging them off, and they've sampled it. Sick shit, bro. I love that. They were amazing. Like,
They're very good.
Did you see their live performance?
I seen clips of it. It was away in Ibiza, but I'd seen clips of it there.
No, it was phenomenal, bro. It was like Dirtbird and then the Shan Vans, and then it was
my sister, my wife's sister's fellas that were the guitarist in the show.
right off. They're lovely lads. I met all them as well. They're brilliant fellas. They done really, and they sing as well. In the Irish
they sing
language.
it. They speak a bit Irish, and I
Yes.
think someone has asked them to start singing in Irish.
Yeah.
Which they're not fully up to yet, but I think they're going to start doing
And
that.
then after the Shan Vans, it was me, and then after me, then there was a girl from Dublin, Gemma Dunleavy.
Okay.
She sung a tune like Up the Flats. It's called Up the Flats.
Okay.
And then after her, then it was the Whistling Donkeys, but they were sick. That was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. Like the banjo player and all.
Okay.
They done all the classics, but it was heavy duty, like. Like it was sick. And then obviously then Kneecap, they just shut the place down there. That was special, like. It was phenomenal, bro. I loved the whole thing. My dad was there and all. My dad watched it and all too, you know.
Brilliant.
So it was
they're
amazing.
like the Irish Beastie Boys or something, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. There's something different. Like what I love about them is they're the beats as well.
Yes.
So it's all big thanks to the DJ too.
Okay.
You know the DJ. I think he's called DJ Pro V. Or
I'd seen them offering Jimmy Bryson or something to fight there with the.
No, they didn't offer him a fight. They offered him tickets. And then they even said they were trying to show beats. They said because Jamie posted up loads of hate.
Yeah, towards
Said
them,
Kneecap have a hate fest, and then the Wolf Tones are a terror fest or something. And then he posted like 3 tweets about them. So Kneecap said, "We want to give a big shout out to our PR manager, Jamie Bryson, you know, because you're promoting us a lot." And he says, you can come to the Fela if you want. You've got free tickets to come and watch us." But he never came. But you know what I loved about that too? One, they just responded. It's like, you know, someone acting like that with you, and you just say, "No problem, don't you want to come and enjoy it?" Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the promotion. And then because Jamie Bryson spoke out about them, it was front page of the Irish News. Did you know that?
No.
And I don't ever buy the paper, but I had to buy it because there were the lads. Front page. And what was it? Jamie Bryson shouting with, and the rappers invite him to the Fela. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, fair play there. Exactly, it is PR. Foot there. They wouldn't have been in the front page of the paper just for their show.
No.
But they were because Jamie wants to start talking shit. No, I've tried to get Jamie onto the show.
Okay.
I know a friend of mine who knows Jamie Bryson. And I said to him, "Get him on to Just Slabberin, because I'd like to talk to him." But also, like, what I don't understand is it's all about like for example, Wolf Tone. Like the original Wolf Tone, he was a Presbyterian minister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was a Protestant.
Yeah.
People don't know that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's nothing to do with like anything like that. It's weird. It's just weirdness to me. I'd like to get him on and say, "Hi, is that a terror fest?" And like you know, when he's saying the Wolf Tone show was a terror fest, like what the fuck are you talking about? Because I didn't see no terror there. And I brought my dad there too to the Kneecap show. But that says one of the best shows of his life. We were treated like royalty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like loads of food and everything. They couldn't do that for us. So I don't know. It's just all bullshit talk, isn't it, bro?
That's the world we live in.
You know. And then it's funny because I tell you something as well. Kneecap said that I loved. He said on the 12th of July celebrations, they seen a couple of like Protestant kids, and they were all there rapping their songs to them. And he says, so these are all the kids on the ground level, and they're all singing out. There's no hatred there amongst kids. The new generation. Same with Young Spencer. Young Spencer's a like PROD rapper from the Shankill. All the Catholic wee girls love him. They love him. They're all there screaming his songs. No, I've seen it with my own eyes.
So there's rappers here, like underground rappers here in Belfast who are like coming through. It's going to be big. This rap.
See young Spencer. Young Spencer has like 40,000 monthly listeners. He's huge, like, and he does like it's madness. There is like, and I've done a song with him called "We Go to War," and it's about the peace walls. And funny enough, I looked up because it basically says we're gonna bring this city to dust when we tear the walls down. And I was saying. In my verse, it was saying it's funny how them peace walls, you know, that split the falls from the Shankill, are still up, and they're more like it's a touristy thing now, isn't it? It's only there for the tourists.
Of course, yeah.
And they was saying like I typed it up on Google and I said when should the peace walls have come down? And did you know in like 2011 they had agreed that it should be coming down by 2023?
Fuck.
But there's no talk about it, obviously. Not.
Tourism
Like
sells.
you said, it's a tourism thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, my bro? But anyway, I'm excited about I'm excited about walking Tyrone out. That's going to be serious.
I think it'll be class.
And that's part of Conlan Boxing as
Yes,
well.
that'll be our show. And we're kind of building it like he's done. Like we're having the big walkway and stuff, so you'll be coming right down, and it's good. It's unique. It's perfect for boxing. The RDS they don't have boxing much. Barney McGregor was the last person who's done boxing there.
Sick.
It's a horsey place. It's a rugby place. Boxing is seen as a working class sport, so it's usually never really here, and it's what's going to make it a bit more unique. And you know we're breaking boundaries. We're going in at different places. It's our first time doing a show in Dublin. We went to Galway. It started this year as well, which was class. The west of Ireland doesn't get as much sporting events and whatnot over there, so it was good to get over there. And yeah, it's just we're growing.
This is the first time in Dublin.
First time in Dublin. I boxed in Dublin a good few times as a pro, and this is our first time kind of going to Dublin as a promotion thing, and I'm excited. We have a lot of Dublin fighters on it, but Tyrone world title fight is the crowning jewel for me. Like, yeah.
Is that the main event?
Tyrone's the main event, yeah, it's the main event.
Amazing.
It's a massive fight.
Do you know who's the who's the?
So we're going to announce it. I think this week we'll have it's a big domestic rivalry between two Irish fighters. Fantastic. So that'll be an Irish title fight, light heavyweight, and then we'll have a Dublin heavyweight, most likely in a title fight as well. He's a good fighter, really good fighter called Thomas Carthy, the bomber. Very, very good, man. He's
and what date is this?
16th September.
The 16th.
Don't forget it, because you need to be early.
I'll be there, don't you worry. This is more for them. And is the tickets on sale?
Tickets go on sale tomorrow for on Ticketmaster.ie. We're very limited in what we've got, but it's going to be it's a guaranteed sale. Dublin's crying out for more and more of these big boxing nights. It's a big boxing city that doesn't get it enough, and big nights like this. When I fought in Dublin, I didn't think it would have sold out when I'd fought in the stadium because I was from Belfast, and next thing you know, it was ram packed, and I was very, very surprised like how much they loved their boxing, because we are a boxing city, more so I think than anywhere else, because we don't have as much where they have GA, and you know it's a bit more cosmopolitan and whatnot. And
no, you're right.
Yeah, so but they still are. We are a niche sport, but we're in the heartland of the working class community. Still see boxing as their sport.
100%.
And that's kind of what we love. What I love about it, because that's what got me involved in it. You know, it was part of our community, part of growing up, and in the community was you went to the boxing club.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro. And I mean, to be honest, most of like see, I've met loads of rappers and stuff. These celebrity rappers, that doesn't mean shit to me. But you see, when I meet like fighters, like that's a bit more like my here, because they're real on the line. Like I said, they're putting their life on the line. Do you know what I mean, bro?
You were Moss Side, weren't you?
Yeah,
it's a big boxing community.
Yeah, I went to school in Moss Side. Yeah, you know, there was loads of, and would see like Ricky Hatton and all. I pulled up at the lights one time, and Ricky Hatton was there beside us. You know, at the lights, and I beat the horn, Ricky! And Ricky was like, yes, lads! Just like, and his dad and all owned the carpet shop on Hyde Road. Do you know what I mean? So I've seen Ricky and all, and like Manchester's a
it's
fighting
a big one.
city too, a proper fighting city, you know? Yeah. And, but there is something special about, like, the fighting, you know, there's something like you say, there's no bullshit. A lot of rappers can talk shit, see what I mean, bro, and they're fake.
Yes.
They're fake. But you see, with the boxing or any style of fighting, you have to display who you are. Do you know what I mean? It's all there. Talk as much shit as you want, but when it closes, it closes.
No, well, listen, boxing, MMA, whatever, I think it's a true reflection of yourself.
Yeah.
So you will reveal who you are.
Yeah.
Because you're stripped, you're naked.
Of course.
Your balls are to the wall. You can't get someone else to help you. You can't pass the ball. You can't hide behind someone else.
Yeah.
You have to show who you really are, and that's kind of what makes it so unique. And it's so personal.
Yeah.
Because each of us can identify with a fighter in some way or form, whether it be Harry fights, whether it be Harry recovers, whether it be what happens, and it's a great kind of reflection of life, boxing, because of the struggle you have to go through to get what you are, whether you're doing a normal 9-to-5 job or how you are with your own family, things like that. Everything in boxing is tough, like, so it's
100%.
people can reflect to it.
You mentioned the Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Did you watch all the Rockies as a kid?
Of course, so.
Yeah, like they were my favourites. So like when we were kids, me and my brother would be watching. My dad come down, me and Adam would be there going for it after the Rocky films. You know what I mean? I was obsessed with. Did you watch the Creed movies?
I haven't, no.
Have you not watched
No,
them?
I haven't. I think it's in the first one.
They're actually quite good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually shocked at how good they are because I'm a bit of a movie critic, you know, and I like to see them. And I loved all the Rocky films.
Yes.
People even give Rocky 5 a hard time. I liked it.
That was
Remember
with Tommy Gunn, was it? Yeah, I like that.
Still remember.
Yeah,
you know what I
Tommy
mean?
Gunn.
It was still like iconic, and then he has the street fight at the end.
Yeah, the Don King character.
Yeah,
and all
Don
that.
King and how he neglects his own son
Yes,
and looks
yes,
after
yes,
Tommy.
yes.
Belter, bro, sick.
I enjoyed it.
And then Rocky Balboa, amazing.
Yes.
And then after that, then Creed, and Creed is Apollo Creed's like lost son.
Lost son.
But
Tony Bellew's in it.
Tony Bellew's in it, and he's done really well in it. He actually done well. So then, you know, Creed 2. Creed 2 is fucking Ivan Drago's son.
Okay. Right, I haven't
So,
seen
and
that.
Ivan Drago obviously killed his dad. And Ivan Drago's in it. So Dolph Lundgren. Big Dolph's in it. So it's like Stallone and Dolph as old men. It's a belter. And then what happened was then apparently Stallone fell out with the creators of Creed, and then they've made Creed 3, and I watched Creed 3, and this is the interesting thing, for the first ever time then there's like a Rocky franchise movie where they don't even mention Rocky. They don't even mention the word Rocky in Creed 3 once, but Creed 3 was still brilliant.
He had put something out. Was that about Creed? Or I thought there was some show.
Yeah, because it's like something like they've had a big fallout or something now. Rocky, you know, Stallone
and the producers.
Yeah, and the producers of Creed.
Yeah.
And he even said, if they ever get out of it and all, I'll go forward with Michael B. Jordan and be part of Creed 4. You know, but it's actually really good. You should watch Creed 3.
Creed 3, I'd seen the advert. It's like his friend who...
Yes, who comes out of jail.
But
you know what I like about it? It's always like, it's a little bit like Rocky 3, you know, and he's the Mr. T. Remember Rocky 3's Mr. T?
He's getting a bit too above his boots. The
Yes.
guy's grinding in the background and starts to be okay.
There you go. It's just all like a reflection, you know what I mean, of like the Rocky movies, but it's funny. Like.
No, it's good. Very good.
So you said who was your favourite boxer?
Mexican guy called Eric Morales.
And who would you say like your favourite on the UK scene was? Who did you love on the UK scene growing up?
UK scene, I grew up watching Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, Ricky was my hero.
We had just got the old chip cable at the time, so you were able to get Sky Sports.
Yeah.
And Ricky was
my hero, bro, and he's the body shot king, wasn't he? And then what about when he lost to fucking Floyd, bro? That was too bad, wasn't it? And it was he was the body shot man, Ricky. That's what I loved about him. He was just militant with it, you know.
He was class.
And he was a City fan and all, wore the City.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
that was before they were big.
Yeah.
I was a City
Road
fan.
days.
Yeah, Main Road. I was a young governor hooligan.
Oh, serious,
sir? I was about 11 or 12. I was there at Main Road. I says, because before that I was what team do you support?
Aston Villa.
You're Aston Villa?
Yeah.
My good friend played for Aston Villa.
Oh, okay.
Kevin Toner.
Okay.
Do you know Kevin Toner?
Yeah.
He also played for the Ireland team and then ended up headbutting who was it, Yugoslavian fellas up there. They kicked him off the Irish team. Kevin Toner, though, he was on FIFA and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So no way you're an Aston Villa fan.
Aston Villa.
I used to be a United fan and then I moved to Manchester. And then they says, let's go, all my mates said, let's go to Main Road. And I says, I have no tickets. And they says, we don't need tickets. We sneak in. Snuck into the kit backstage. It was us, right? And all. I was only about 12, like, loved it, you know. I like the rioting more than the football, you know what I mean?
You do.
So what's next for the Conlan Boxing, bro?
September 16th. We've a big night in Dublin. I'm really looking
Yeah.
forward to it. And then we're talking about maybe doing something in Boston as a co-promotion in October. And then we have booked the Odyssey again for December 2nd.
Right.
And we're looking at a big night there. Like Tyrone comes through, massive big Belfast fight
Whoa.
in the pipeline there. Tyrone and Lewis Crocker, which would be massive.
Yes. And he fought at the field.
He did. He did. Yeah. Again, like
I'm gonna get him on the show. He
should.
seems a good lad.
He is. He's a very, very good lad, and it has a great story. Like
Yeah.
he's again. I think we're blessed here with quality on this small island.
Next level. Anto Kakasi too, but
Kakashi.
Yeah,
Kakashi.
serious, isn't they?
Ask him about aliens if you get him on, man.
Right.
He's next dimension. Like.
Well, they messaged me saying about they wanted to get on the show because they were like, I don't think he believes in aliens. I think he's a flat earther like me.
Flat earther. He believes in aliens.
Right,
He's everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah,
on
get on him.
I'll have to get you back on him. I'll do another podcast all about what your conspiracy. Where you stand bad.
I brought Kakashi over to Sparring Mako, and we stayed together, and like we were going out for dinner, and I just seen a different side to him, like, you know.
Yeah, man. Well, I know his trainer too.
Ian Mahood, right?
he's
Yeah,
a
he
G.
came with us, and
Yeah.
it was just different. Like a few friends of mine in London came out, and they brought me out for dinner, and they're all different things. One guy's he believes he sees ghosts, he sees spirits,
Right.
and stuff like this. So we had a night, like we had a night where we all just
You
said,
believe in God though, don't you?
I do, yeah, I do.
Good
Yeah,
man.
I
So
do.
do I. Yeah, I believe in God. I'm not religious.
No, I'm not religious myself.
I'm not religious, but I believe in God. You
Yeah,
know?
I believe there's something after this. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
there's something after this. What?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
And then next time you get on the show, it might convince you that the Earth's flat. There's no such thing as space.
no, see, like we have a guy in Michael's gym, Harlem Eubank, one of the Eubanks.
Right?
Yeah,
Is he
flat
like
earth for
that too?
everything. Doesn't
Yeah.
drink out a water bottle. No, like.
No, but you know who it was who got me on the flat Earth? My big brother.
Okay.
And again, for like a year and a half, I was like, whatever, bro. What are you talking about now? Because I love space.
Yes.
And I know all the planets and all, and I always studied space.
Okay.
So I was like, what are you talking about? It's flat and all, there's no space. Adam, you whatever.
So there's no. Your thing is. Like,
There's no
this is in
space.
order? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, space doesn't exist. Space is a scientific fallacy. It doesn't even, the concept of it, you can't prove it. So when you study science as well, what science teaches you is a vacuum cannot exist beside a non-vacuum without an impermeable barrier. Otherwise, the non-vacuum just sucks into the vacuum.
Okay.
Do you understand
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So what they're trying to tell you is that you can get in a space rocket and go up and up and up and up and up, and all of a sudden you just pop, and you just pop out into the endless vacuum of space. And they say that the atmosphere is the barrier, but it's not an impermeable barrier. Sure, you can get a rocket. They say you can just fly a rocket up through it.
Yeah.
It's madness. That doesn't.
So what's up there in your?
What I believe is what like Nikola Tesla believed as well. Nikola Tesla said, we're not on a planet. Earth is not a planet. The word planet as well literally comes from the Latin, which means wandering star. All the stars are fixed in their position, apart from a couple of them that actually move on a different course, and they were called the planets, the wandering stars. But that's not Earth. Earth is an enclosed environment system. And I believe that the stars are above us and that the Earth is fixed and does not move. And it's actually the sky that moves above us. And I believe that there's like the firmament. Have you ever heard of the firmament?
No.
So in the Bible, it says God created the earth in 7 days. On day 1, he created the heavens and the earth. And on day 2, it said that he created the firmament. And it was a giant dome that separates the waters from above the heavens from the waters below the earth. That's what it says in the Bible. So it's deep, bro. It's deep.
Yeah.
My dad and all believes it and all that too, you know.
Yeah.
Like when I showed my dad's like a Christian preacher.
Okay.
My dad's
Yeah, I
like-
remember.
My dad studied the Bible like for 30 plus years, coming up to 40 years. And I showed him all the scriptures in the Bible, and I said that the earth is flat, like, you know, even from a biblical perspective. Like all the authors of the Bible all believed it was flat and motionless.
Their depiction of the world in the
Yeah.
world maps was a lot different. To what it
Like,
is now, like.
and then like you see all this like Elon Musk shit and all, where he's sending fucking cars up and all,
Yes.
floating about. That's all nonsense. That's all complete bullshit.
The moon landing fake to you or no?
100% it is. So my my mum said she'd never believed in any conspiracies or anything. See, since I was 12, I knew 9/11 was an inside job. I knew it all, bro, in terms of the Freemasons, the Illuminati and all. But my mum and dad used to say, oh, he's like a conspiracy theorist. You with me? See, when I showed my mum to look into the moon landing, that was the first thing that she said, 100%, these are lying. Like, they're lying, bro. Have you ever looked at the interview of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin when they had just got back off the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they don't look like two people who's just come back from space. They look like they're ready to get shot dead if they say the wrong thing. They're sat there like that. Yeah, we did have a good that's how they're talking, like petrified, you know what I mean? They don't know what to say. My mum watched it, she said 100%, like they never went. Just think about it, bro. They're saying they went to the moon with less technology that I'm holding in my hand right now. Mm-hmm. And then guess what they said? They've never been back again to the moon because they lost the technology. They just lost it. NASA just disappeared, bro. It's all a load of shite, brother, if you believe any of that. I'll tell you what I believe. I believe anything that they tell you on the news is propaganda. It's all a load of bullshit. And sure, we know that, sure, with all the recent 2020 stuff. And I said it from day one. Everyone said it was a nut job. People were saying, you're going to die and all. You know, remember they're saying we're going to...
Drop them dead in the street, no, yeah.
Drop them dead in the streets, there we go. But sure, we know this even from history in the 70s and on the propaganda, right back to the 20s, all the way through propaganda. History's written by those that killed the heroes. It's all a load of nonsense. And I don't believe any of it. I don't believe Elon Musk is a freedom fighter or not neither. Sure, there's a creepy meat crayon cartoon there. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I'll send you the link. It's creepy, but Elon Musk is determined. He's saying he wants to get people to Mars or something. And then he goes, I promised an old friend of mine long ago that I was going to do this. And he has a flashback of him stood on an island, naked on an island. And who walks up behind him? Jeffrey Epstein. And he's like that. You've always been on this island with me, Elon. And he goes, and you look perplexed and all, you know. And he goes, I just want to send people to the moon. And he goes, come and let's get a few massages, Elon. Come back, because he obviously was part of it all. You know what I mean? That's like the fucked up shit of it, bro. People think he's some sort of like free, like, I don't believe any of it. Did you see they changed the Twitter logo now to an X?
An X?
The fuck does that mean? Fair play to him though. My Twitter got banned during the 2020 stuff.
Because you were...
And I didn't... My Twitter's linked to my Facebook.
Okay.
So whatever I post on Facebook automatically went to Twitter. Okay. But Twitter obviously deleted it and banned it, but Facebook was okay. So mine was... I just got mine on, like, locked, you know, my Twitter. And then next thing they changed it to some X and shit. I don't know what's going on.
Do you listen to Robert Kennedy Jr.? Like in his stuff?
All this stuff? I only heard a couple of people. That's the...
He's running for president now.
Yeah, I've heard about that, bro.
But he was the one who was like exposing all the COVID stuff before anyone else came.
Yeah, I heard a couple of people talking about Jordan Peterson or something.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I like Jordan Peterson. He's powerful now.
Yeah,
I do like him. What did you think, Andrew Tate? You seen him?
Yeah, I've seen all that though.
I think he's quite sound. I think he's quite demonized. You know what I mean?
I see again with you. I'm with you. Like, I think there's always an agenda if something is getting really thrown in your face about something, so it makes you need to question it a bit more.
Sure, I think the best thing that Andrew Tate guy said was this. He says, "So you see all this shit about me?" He goes, "There's zero evidence. Everyone knows I'm innocent." But yet you watch how they portray their news stories about me. It's all negative. He says, watch that Philip Schofield, who is guaranteed he was grooming your boy since he was young and all. Watch how they talk to him because he's in their club. Yeah. And they're all like, it's been a hard week for you, Philip, hasn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Listen,
and then before you go to the Rothschilds and all, you think control of that?
Yeah.
We're run by that?
Yeah, well, I believe is this. All of the news stations in America, it's not even like I believe, you know.
No, you know, they're all competing.
They're all, and not only all competing, they all have a script. Yeah. There is a script, no matter where you are in that state, and they all spew out the same propaganda. Yeah. That's literally what propaganda is. Like, that is the definition of propaganda. When they're pumping it out, there's not independent thought. They're just pumping it out and reading it from a script. And that's the scariest thing. Same with, like, movies and everything nowadays, bro. You watch like old movies, it was like there was all independent thought. A different filmmaker would have a real different film. What you're watching nowadays, it's all generic bullshit.
Yes.
It's like it's all being made by fucking AI or something. It's weird. There is like and I think the screens are the scariest part of it. You know.
I think this new, as you say, AI stuff that we're entering is going to be the scariest.
That's why I love boxing so much, bro. You can't fucking AI.
Alright, so
You
you're going to
can't
get punched
AI
in
and
the
jab
nose.
in the fucking nose, can you, bro?
No, definitely can't, no.
Listen, we could have talked all day. You're a fucking G,
Yes,
man.
sure.
Hold on, before we finish, I have to give a big shout out to my sponsors. Big shout out to Budbright. He was our Life's a Beach. Okay. He's gives us all the, and then end-to-end canine mills. As you say, I wasn't as sweaty. In this one, we've got a silent fan. That was our cooling us down. So that's end-to-end canine mills. They gifted us that. And Weedy Wonka and Big Buzz Lightyear. And obviously Hotbox for giving us the studio. Much love, everybody. Thank you. God bless. What's happening? This is Jun Tzu. Just Slabberin.
I told you.